What's up, everybody, and welcome to your favorite Thursday night wrestling podcast with your host, Chuck Winchester, with your host, Yvonne DeBoard, who is still hanging on desperately with that.
Well, let's not use the word desperate.
Desperate's pretty fucking accurate.
Desperately with that money. Just waiting, biding the time.
Not desperate.
Slithering like a snake, slithering like a viper.
Better than
who happened to win the 2009 Royal Rumble. Why that matters, you'll see later.
Yep.
And also with us, the other RSH co-host.
But I'm behind on sharing.
We had some problems earlier, but we got to figure it out. Anyway, the RSH heavyweight champion of the world, Josh DeBoard, here with us tonight. 1 week and 3 days before Royal Rumble 2022. Can you believe it's 2022? It's insane, man. I remember watching the Royal Rumble back in the year 2000. Here we are 22 years later. I'm still just as unsuccessful, but still watching the Royal Rumble. Had more hair back then, back in the 6th grade. But I can't believe it's 2022. That's crazy. But the best part about this Rumble is not only is it in 2022, but the three of us, along with former RSH champion Michael Bennett, are all going to be there.
Yep.
Live.
Fuck that.
First Royal Rumble ever.
Oh shit! I shouldn't talk shit. He'll be here next week.
Well, he's one who he also has our tickets, so so easy. But
Look,
very
I
exciting.
was looking through something the other day, and I seen that damn spinner belt, him carrying it around, and it really pissed me off for some reason.
Yeah, well, I think you've kind of, you've rebutted enough with your 500 and whatever fucking days that you've had.
Here he goes. He's going to get the count. He's going to get the count
It's
back
a very
up.
monumental day because today is actually day 600.
Oh, we're in the 6 digits
Thank you,
now.
Brock Lesnar.
Still 3 digits, but you know what I mean.
Who cares about
So it's
Dude, he's the worst. Isn't he?
600
He screwed me like 3 times in my life.
days.
That's a long time.
Don't give Brock Lesnar no credit.
It's going on 2 years, man.
That's gross. Don't give Brock Lesnar.
Roman, you're 504 days.
That is impressive. But come Royal Rumble, that belt is going to come back to right there. We are 7 days plus 3 days, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. So what's that? 10 days. We are 10 days away from that RSH championship belt coming home to Chuck Winchester. Unless
Yep. Unless.
there is an X factor here.
Yep.
So we'll see. She's been holding on.
There's a reason.
She's waiting for it to expire.
She's doing what Edge did back in 06 and went until the last minute.
Yep.
I respect it.
Yep. What I'm doing.
But if you cash in on me, oh. If you let this fool have it for 600 days and then cash in on me.
At this point, I can't get mad if I lose. It's like I've had it for fucking since this belt's been in since we've had it.
Since we've had it.
We've had this belt.
Since
I think I'm the only one that's
you've had
this
it.
belt.
That's it. We
Like,
got
I
it right
can't
after
get
you
mad
got
if I
it.
lose, but if you're ahead and she cashes in and
Oh,
beats you,
that'd be a dick
that's
move.
fucked up.
That'd be a dick move. But I'd appreciate it.
I will.
And so we'll see.
It's funner to do it on.
Well, I think I got everything shared, so we're ready to go now.
Oh yeah, and I have the speaker issues. For some reason, usually it automatically goes to the roadcaster, but tonight the audio didn't. It was weird. Anyway, it's fixed. So let's get right into it. We had Raw, we had SmackDown, we had NXT, and we have the Royal Rumble 2009 review coming up in just a little bit. So let's get right on into it, man. SmackDown.
The Viking Raiders are the new number 1 contenders for the Usos titles.
Who is it?
Viking Raiders.
Viking Raiders. That's right.
They beat
It's gonna be an experience right there.
Garza and Humberto, Cesaro and Mansoor and Jinder and Shanky.
Jinder was there.
Jinder was they were
Teaming with
4-way.
Shanky.
I watched SmackDown. I don't remember seeing Jinder, which is
That was-
okay.
wish
that was
I
the first
did.
match.
I wish I didn't have to see Jinder.
I'm really good at remembering shit I want to see. Yeah,
And then we had In Zayn with Sami Zayn, where he was getting pushed to the ring in a shopping cart, saying that he can do extreme stuff like Johnny Knoxville,
I did.
which
watch
led to
that.
him getting all the way to the bottom of the ramp, and then Rick Boogs threw him over the top rope into the X that he was allegedly going to ramp the ring in his shopping cart and hit.
Honestly, what I was expecting to happen there, I really thought that Johnny Knoxville was going to come out behind and then just do it to Sami Zayn.
I still feel very bizarre that he's in the Rumble, but then I saw Jackass, the new one, comes out like February 6th.
Yeah, that's
so
what
it's
they're
like,
promoting.
okay.
Yep.
They always do shit like that.
whatever. As long as he's the only celebrity, that's fine.
Right. Poor Zane. That was fun.
It's not really that waste of a spot.
Nah, if it's as long as he's the only one, they don't do any more gimmicky shit. No problem. And we get to see Johnny Knoxville, which is kind of cool because he co-starred with The Rock in Walking Tall, and it was a great movie.
No,
so I'm excited.
I hope Johnny Knoxville is fucked up.
I think that was like The Rock's like second big movie after The Rundown.
After the Tooth Fairy.
Well, this was before The Tooth Fairy.
No.
This was The Rock was still trying to be serious.
I can't remember because I didn't see either of them.
Oh, you should see Walking Tall. It's great.
I'm good. I walk tall every day of my life.
Oh, God.
All right, so apparently Shinsuke's cleared.
That's good.
Another note on Zayn is he's officially re-signed as of today.
That's good.
There was a rumor earlier this month. He has signed a new multi-year deal with WWE and is said to be ecstatic with his role that he's had.
He's been good.
He's been messing around with Brock.
He's kind of taking the Chris Jericho role where it's like you deal with celebrities and you just be kind of ridiculous with everybody, which is good. In my opinion, it's a good thing. Yeah. He's killing it. And like we all just be honest, if he went anywhere else, he wouldn't be doing anything.
He officially announced he's going to be in the Royal Rumble.
There we go.
Which I thought was already a thing, but he said it again on Friday.
Oh, got it.
But yeah, that should be fun. It was entertaining. It's whatever. They're building to that match at some point.
Sure.
What do we got tomorrow? So we might get that next Friday, unless they randomly announce it for tomorrow.
Yeah, well, we still got 2 SmackDowns before the Rumble.
I mean, that might be their main event next week. Because I'm sure they'll just do a face-off with Roman and them. Because they're doing the weigh-in with Lashley and Brock on Monday.
Sure.
And then I'm sure we'll get to Seth and them in a
Sure.
minute. Stick in order. Aaliyah beat Natalya in 3.8 seconds.
She
broke the world record.
As Natalya was carrying around the Guinness Book of World Records book backstage.
So is that legit? Does like Natalya really have?
She really does.
That's pretty cool.
But now she has another one.
Good for Aaliyah, though.
Where she lost in 3.1 seconds.
Aaliyah's from NXT.
Yeah, Aaliyah.
Very good.
We'll see. That was her first ever match. She's also in the Rumble, but it's going to be a wait and see thing.
Sure.
With her, yeah.
It was weird because Adam Pearce kept him and Sonya kept bitching like every other commercial about it being hot.
Yeah, and then nothing happened, right?
And, like I never understood it. I was waiting for like some like sexy ass girl and or guy to walk in.
I was kind of waiting for Kane to come in and enter himself in the Rumble. Honestly, that's kind of where my brain went because like, what else are they going to do? But yeah,
I think they're done announcing people at this point.
I hope so.
Like, well, I'll count how many's in what, but I think the women are up to 21. So I think the other 9 should just you're done. And the men, I think, is up to like 15, which they could announce, some regulars like Cesaro. I'm sure he'll be in it. Finn Balor, I'm sure he'll be in it.
Well, yeah, your regular guys. Oh, maybe I just realized, did that thermometer crap happen because what's her name needed Adam Pearce to leave so she could confront
Naomi?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's how it ended.
Maybe they both skipped the COVID test and they're like having those fucking.
And I thought maybe there was like some NXT guy out who I don't know about who has like a hot gimmick, but like,
No.
I think it was because Naomi wanted to confront Sonya, so maybe that's why.
It's just fucking hot.
Thermostat's awful.
Lita.
Sonya is pretty hot.
Lita cut a promo, said back in her day there were no Royal Rumble matches
Josh's
for women.
favorite too.
Lita says she's more crazy. Blah, 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 blah.
I'm sorry, your favorite.
I'm sorry, I'm skipping to the bullet points. Oh, out comes fucking Charlotte.
Yep.
Well, of course.
She says, "This is extreme."
I love her music.
She says she's entering the Royal Rumble as champion, and when she wins, she'll pick her opponent. When she eliminates Lita, her newly wanted run will be over. Lita gets the fans to chant "Giant Head."
She should have chanted "Plastic."
She hits her with a twist of fate.
Yeah, she did. I'd love for Lita to win.
So the apparent word on the internet is they're going to have Lita eliminate Charlotte and set that up for WrestleMania.
Deal?
Lita and Charlotte.
I mean, we saw Charlotte and Trish. Why not Charlotte and Lita?
I don't think they'll do that. I think it'll be a multi-woman match because you're going to have Sasha without anything to do. And that was the original plan.
But she's hurt now.
Yeah. Well, the report is her and Drew are both due back way before WrestleMania 38. So they'll get both of them back. They're both going to be in a match.
Sasha could be back too. See my point?
But it's a 2-night WrestleMania. You got to fill that shit.
Yeah. So you could always do night 1 defend against this person, night 2 defend against this person.
Sure.
Sheamus beat Ricochet. That's about all that we need to talk about there.
We all knew that was going to happen.
Adam and Sonya are backstage, and Adam's like almost naked. They keep talking about how hot it is. And then
take off all
Sonya
your clothes.
says she's sweating. Adam says he will check. Yeah, I guess you're right. Adam says he will check with maintenance. Naomi comes in. She tells Sonya that she doesn't have her jacket on and she's going to kick her ass. No jacket, no boss.
Ah, that was the end game there.
So
Naomi translate
turned
well.
the fucking office in. And WrestleView.com said, not sure what they're going to do with the temperature going from cold to hot in the office thing. But for some reason, I'm thinking about the Fiend Bray Wyatt.
Sounds right.
Let me in. But they announced next week.
Just get that jacket off. That's all it was.
They announced next week that Charlotte will fight Naomi in a non-title match, and Naomi will get a chance to earn another title shot.
Oh, good. This is definitely leading up to a Sonya WrestleMania match, right?
Yeah.
I would hope so.
After all
That's
this.
a long time to build.
Yeah.
That's only a few months away.
Well, they've already been doing it for 2 months.
I wish they put Sonya in them.
They've been doing that shit to like Survivor Series.
Yeah, keep dragging it. It'll be there.
But Kofi lost to Madcap Moss.
Yeah, he lost. Yeah.
Xavier is out indefinitely with an injury, so Kofi is literally by himself right now.
I gotta say, I'm okay with that because I'm over the fucking King bullshit gimmick. But they're really bad accents. I can't stand it. It reminds me of the Young Buck shit. I don't like it. The whole like, oh, Sir Kofi. No, I can't. I hate it when King Booker did it back in the day. I hate it now. I hate it.
His wife used to scream at King Booker.
I like
hate
that
it.
they're pushing Corbin's little gimmick still.
Happy Corbin.
Yeah, and Madcap. So like but all three of these guys also entered in the Royal Rumble. So Kofi, Madcap, and Corbin are all in.
Sure.
I have a picture later.
Hell yeah.
Seth comes out. So this is the highlight of the show for me. I can't lie, I skipped through a lot of this.
Sure. Hulu does. Why not us?
The big points pretty much were Roman. Let's see. Roman does his acknowledge me thing. Seth says their track record in singles matches is one-sided. Roman hasn't beat Seth that I could look up and find. Roman laughs and said, quit talking about the past. He is in God mode these days. Blah, blah, blah. Seth said he didn't come to rain on his parade, but he's going to anyway.
That sounds like Seth.
He said without Roman, he's fine. He was climbing the ladder while Roman was failing in the CFL. Seth says he was holding Roman's hand in the Shield after that. Roman needed the bloodline to hold everything up. Seth asks him if he understood who the greatest is because he destroyed Roman, or he created Roman and he will destroy Roman. Roman said this is a waste of time. He said if he wanted to fight a real megastar at the Royal Rumble, he would have fought Seth's wife.
Yep, that's a good
Mic drop.
In come the Usos, and Seth kind of sensed they were coming, and he sneaks away before the Usos can do anything to him.
Yep, that was a fun segment.
So that's a good way to build up. The feud writes itself, so you need 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So good segment.
Yep, that was classic, man.
I'm very fucking tempted to pick Seth. Next week's gonna be interesting.
Dude, there's no way he's losing before WrestleMania.
He's gonna lose to Seth.
No, he's not. No way. No way.
They were gonna put the belt on Seth anyway. This is a way. They're not going to unify the belts. So this is a way to get back to it because they're not unifying the belts.
No, they're not going to. No, they'd be ridiculous.
So if you're going to do Roman and Brock, one has to lose. So is Lashley going to beat Brock? If Lashley was going to win the title, he could have won it in the Fatal 5-Way, and Brock didn't have to be involved in the pin.
I feel like Reigns will probably screw Brock. And then
it comes down to match placement.
It does.
Yeah,
because if Roman fights Seth first, I feel like Seth's going to win. And then Roman's going to get butthurt and go fuck Brock over. No, that wouldn't even make any sense.
I feel like
match placement's going to be key.
Reigns is going to win, and Reigns will fuck Lesnar. And that will lead to their
what's going to happen. Reigns will lose, enter the fucking Rumble, run through everybody, and go challenge Brock.
That could be interesting.
That's also a possibility.
I just don't think they want Reigns to be because that'll make him kind of a good guy because he'd be chasing the title. Mm-hmm. And Brock Lesnar can't be a good guy with the belt. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be interesting.
So I feel like Reigns is going to win. They'll make Reigns match first. Reigns will win, and then Lesnar's will be second, and Reigns will fuck Lesnar. And then maybe Lesnar could join the Rumble and then do what you just said and win the Rumble. How much would that suck?
Let's do our weekly gambling.
The goal is to have Brock Lesnar on our TV once.
All right, let's see.
Once.
For like 30 seconds if possible. Because Jesus. He's got cows to milk, dude. He can't have time for this.
All right, let's look at our odds like we do every week. So the odds for the Rumble. Right now, Biggie and Brock Lesnar are tied with the highest odds to win.
Biggie and Brock Lesnar are tied.
So they're gonna have Roman go over.
I gotta say, man, if
and then Roman's gonna for some reason Roman's gonna feel the need to go fuck Brock over as well.
want to.
This is,
And then Lashley goes over.
Yep.
And then Biggie wins the Rumble. Or Brock wins
Brock wins the Rumble. If Reigns costs Brock, I think Brock will win the Rumble.
Brock won't win. Brock won't even enter. He'll come out, fuck somebody up, take their spot.
Like Money in the Bank.
If you think Brock's gonna run it back there, like Adam, can I please be? I'm like, no, he's just gonna fuck. Like Ali, who wants release, but they said fuck you, no.
Yep.
He's gonna be coming to the ring like, yeah, Brock's gonna come out there and F5 his ass, suplex him up the ramp and take a spot.
Yep, I could absolutely believe that happening.
All right, so the odds for the matches. Oh, the Women's Royal Rumble.
Gosh.
Bianca is the huge favorite right now. Bailey is second.
Bailey should be.
Bianca would be a 2 in a row. In her first win, she had the belt until WrestleMania, and then hasn't done a whole lot since. She's been around.
Rhea's third, Alexa Bliss is fourth.
Look, you should. That's your girl.
Man, I think it's going to be Bailey.
I do too. Right now, I'm stuck with Bailey.
Which I'd be cool with. If she legit has a surprise return at the Rumble, I'd pop for it.
Her and
Oscar are both going to be there.
Her and Alexa.
I would pop. And Alexa, because Alexa is already back on TV, and she's still in that stupid Fiend gimmick when Fiend's not even here anymore.
That is her gimmick.
That is so stupid.
It's terrible. I wish she was back.
All right, so Brock is the favorite now to win the Rumble.
I'm not surprised. I really think that's what's going to happen. If I can talk, Jesus Christ. I really do believe that Brock is going to lose because of Reigns, enter the Rumble, win the Rumble, go into WrestleMania.
So your top 5 is Brock, Biggie, AJ Styles, Lashley, and Roman.
Styles, okay.
And Seth is 6th. Kevin Owens is 7th.
I wish it'd be an Owens or an AJ Styles.
Bailey is is second. Oh shit. She's favored now. Alexa's second.
Okay.
Liv is third. Bianca and Charlotte are tied for 4th at 6-1 odds.
Charlotte wins.
If Charlotte wins as champion, that'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, it would be.
But not surprising.
No, exactly. With these matches, you never know.
Fucking matches that I wanted, though.
Now it's my turn to share.
Yeah, I could see Bailey. I don't
know. Yeah, next week I added a thing where we'll just talk about. We won't make it part of our predictions or anything, but like we'll talk about who we'd like to see,
some of these
or who we think's going to return.
These matches are tough.
All right, so right now Brock is 70% favored to beat Lashley. Roman's 73% favored to beat Seth. Brock is also favored to win the Rumble.
Look how high 20 is.
So
Brock can't win both. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
somebody's rigging that.
That's bull. I mean, you can't.
Becky Lynch is favored over Doudrop. Sure. This one has Alexa and Bianca tied for the best odds to win the Women's Royal Rumble.
That'd be cool with Alexa.
Edge and Maurice are overwhelming favorites. Or Edge and Beth Phoenix are overwhelming favorites to beat. See them. Yeah. I don't understand why Brock's so fucking favored in the Rumble if he's going to have his belt. Seriously. Like, what's he going to do? Go in the Rumble and win, then challenge Roman?
And then, like, do belt versus belt? That'd be stupid.
That is dumb. All
right. Anyway, that was SmackDown.
Maybe he loses.
Pretty decent show. The promo was the best part.
That was good.
Yeah, Raw wasn't bad. I enjoyed. I even liked the Bobby Lashley Rollins match.
Fucked because Monday Night Football had that extra week and their rating got destroyed. But it was playoff football, which football is like fucking ridiculous right now.
Oh, dude, I was going to tell you this before we move on. Speaking of the NFL, I was in a conversation the other day on Facebook. You know where all the intelligent people are, and And it turned into a fucking AEW versus WWE bullshit rant, as it always does. Yep. You can't say anything about one product or the other one coming up. And this kid was being stupid. And I was kind of talking to him. I wasn't trying to be a dick or anything, but we were talking. And I don't know how it came up, but the ratings obviously came up as they always do. And he was like, oh, man, WWE is the best, man. Their ratings kick ass and AEW sucks. I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, WWE's ratings are absolutely better. Sure. You know, but if WWE is so great, why are they still losing to the NFL every week? Unlike back in the day, they had this many ratings. Now they have this many ratings. Just playing his own game, you know. He was like, oh, man, WWE has more social media followers than NFL, MLB, blah, 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 blah combined. I was like, okay, if that could very well be true, but why does WWE still lose to NFL every week? And he was like, oh, no. WWE Raw averages 10 million views a week, while NFL averages 5 million views a week. That's what he told me. I swear to God. So I Googled last week's Raw ratings, which was 1.75, by the way, which is up from the week prior, which is fine. You know, that's a good number. But so I just told him that. And so he just ignored that altogether and then moved on. And then later on, the conversation kept happening because he just stopped. I don't know. It was really funny. But then he gave me the same screenshot of the same stat lookup and tried to throw it in my face. It's like, dude, Raw does not get 10 million views and Raw does not beat NFL. I prefer wrestling over the NFL, so I'm not biased at all. But like, that's just stupid. It was really funny. I don't know. It made me laugh a lot. It's like, dude, you're just making shit up now. He's like, no, I'm not. Yeah, you are. This is why you don't debate ratings, because they're not opinions, they're facts.
Well, and AEW people that say, like, oh, we won the key demo. It's like, go to Monday and do that.
Well, that's just deflecting at that point. Like, who cares?
Like,
but
you're not head to head, so it doesn't matter.
No.
We've been through this 1,000 times. Stop it.
But this kid said that Raw gets 10 million views a week, and it made me
All I
fucking
know
laugh.
is
Even back in the Attitude Era, they were getting 8 million.
All I know is 29 million people watch Pittsburgh and Kansas City, 27 New England and Buffalo, 27 million people watched fucking the Rams versus the Cardinals. So the NFL is
they're doing just fine.
Significantly taking a chunk
out
of Raw.
Sure.
Which you can DVR and watch later.
Sure. Well, that's the thing too. That's with the streaming stuff, everything's different. But this is why I hate people on social media who debate ratings. One, nobody, including us, what the fuck we're talking about. We're not in that business. We just see what the fucking internet says.
Like Meltzer,
and he's part of that
business, and he still knows what the fuck he's talking about.
But then you get these idiots on both sides, AEW, WWE, probably the NFL too, who just make up shit. Oh no, WWE gets 10 million views a week. No, they fucking don't. That's just stupid. God. And you can't argue with those people because they say shit like that. You prove the facts and then just ignore it. It's like, okay, well, here we are.
Some people just shouldn't watch wrestling.
Some people shouldn't be alive. But anyway.
Oh, that too.
It made me laugh. Because it's just like, Jesus. And then I'm sure on the same side, you have AEW people saying the same stupid shit. Oh, no, AEW gets like 8 million. No, they don't. It's all right there. And it's not a big deal because, like you already brought up, everything's streaming. I watch a lot of stuff. None of it gets counted because I stream everything. I very, very rarely watch live TV. And when I do, it's like a pay-per-view. So, like, it's not, I mean, there's a lot of people like me who just don't watch live shit anymore. So you have to change how you rate things. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure a lot of these programs have that too. But a lot of these channels are still ran by old people who refuse to adapt.
Yeah, I've just completely stopped arguing with people about it. Like, WWE's not going anywhere for at least the next 2 years. Neither is AEW.
No, they're not going anywhere. WWE's not going anywhere ever.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would.
I'd say for at least 2 years.
Nah, they're safe. I mean, they're a powerhouse.
They're 3 years in and they still pull the same rating.
I mean
they're not growing.
But they're a powerhouse and they're still making money.
I would not call them a powerhouse.
I would when it comes to
they lose to Baby Shark.
Sure, but in the professional wrestling business, they're a powerhouse. Like, they're not going to go anywhere.
I don't know. There's only really one powerhouse. They're down there with Impact, who WWE's already done more for, just announcing Mickey James.
Mickey James,
yeah,
who was fired with a trash bag.
Yeah.
All right, back to Raw.
That was true.
What the fuck happened to Raw? All right, so fucking CBS doesn't put shit in order.
CBS. Oh, CBS.
Yeah.
I heard the pharmacy.
I forget what the fuck was the first thing. Oh, Seth coming up. Yeah, it was Seth coming out and talking. Seth came out, said he's going to beat Roman, turn that belt red, and defend it against his best friend Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. KO announced that he will be in the Royal Rumble. They got interrupted by Damian Priest, which led to Kevin Owens beating Priest with a stunner. Owens faked a knee injury, allowing him to hit the stunner on a distracted Priest to score the win. New feud.
Yep.
Cool with it. Seth's promo is good.
I like Priest these
days.
I
said, I'm going to need to see what happens tomorrow because I'm sure Seth will be there. And I'm sure they'll do something on Raw. Well, I know Seth will be. There's probably going to be at least 2 more face-to-face encounters between these two before I can pick who I think's going to win. We got 2 SmackDowns and 1 Raw. I just don't see how the Royal Rumble ends with Seth with Roman and Brock still both having gold.
I know.
And that's your inevitable thing. Like, do they do a title switch in Saudi at the Elimination Chamber? Like, maybe.
Nope. I feel like they just threw the belt on Brock out of a reactionary thing, and then Reigns came back so quick. So let's get the belt off of him and go back to that. And I think that's going to have – and, Lashley is a respectable opponent for Brock.
Well,
you throw Reigns in there.
Seth is too.
Well, yeah, Seth's beat him. But, I mean –
God, one of those two are not going to leave with the title.
And it's going to be Brock.
I hope it's
It's going to be Brock.
We'll see.
Because Brock made no sense to begin with.
What happened
exactly.
next? Oh, Chad Gable did an Alpha Academy graduation ceremony for Otis, which was interrupted by Riddle, who pitched for a rematch, which is going to lead to an academic challenge next week on Raw. Randy Orton snuck in the ring, hit Gable with an RKO, and then put on his little outfit as well.
And Randy Orton did too. It was so good.
So yeah, that's next week, which was probably going to lead to a rematch at the Royal Rumble. Vince McMahon told Austin Theory that he was going to break every bone in his body and send a picture of it to his mother if he didn't beat Finn Balor, which is a dig at AEW, which I'll give them a little bit of shit for. But Austin Theory did beat Finn Balor and win.
Again.
He didn't get his bones
So he didn't get his bones broken and his face cut up and his teeth ripped out, which is taking a shot at their AEW's terrible, these blood war matches they have, which are fucking terrible because they just are. Speaking of terrible, Nikki ASH attacked Rhea Ripley before their match. Queen Zelina and Carmella.
Is it not Nikki Ash?
ASH.
They say ASH?
Yeah.
I thought it was Nikki Ash.
No, almost superhero.
Oh, that makes sense. Fair enough.
Nikki took advantage to deliver a beating to Rhea, which resulted in the match never beginning.
Nope.
I'm glad she's a heel. That's good shit.
Yeah. Now she's trying to be a superhero as a heel. She's like, what kind of...
That's what we call an anti-hero.
Yeah. The segments I always skip. Omos beat Reggie.
So does Hulu, because I missed that.
Omos beat Reggie.
I missed that too.
The 24/7 competitors kept running in, and Omos just kept throwing them out.
That's funny.
There's leading to him joining the Rumble at some point. Then Street Profits and the Mysterios beat Ziggler, Rude, Commander Aziz, and Apollo Crews. When Ford beat Crews with a frog splash, then the Street Profits got thrown out by both Mysterios, and then Ray threw out Dominic and did the whole watch me in the Rumble.
Ray threw out Dominic?
Yeah.
I didn't see that either.
He threw him out of the ring.
He did.
Hell yeah.
And then
they've been saying they want to do a WrestleMania match with those two, so that'd be cool.
We might get that this year.
It'd be cool for a dad versus son thing. I like that.
And then Doudrop and Becky Lynch beat Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan when Doudrop hit her finisher on Morgan. Then Doudrop beat the shit out of Becky after the match was over.
I did see that.
She beat the crap.
Doudrop's not going to win, but she's really fucking been impressive over the last
she's proven herself.
month. Yep. And she was very good at NXT UK, which gives me hope for fucking Walter.
Don't say that. That's not his name.
Gunther.
That's not his name.
And isn't Gunther now?
Gunther.
What his name was
Gunther.
That's whatever.
Gunther.
I'm excited that he had his last match on NXT and he's coming.
Gunther is going to be. He's going to be not in WWE a year from now.
Well, hopefully, his two guys come with him too.
Yeah, then Bobby Lashley fought Seth. Lashley won by DQ after the Hurt Business attacked him. Then, as the Hurt Business is attacking Lashley, the Usos come in and double super kick Seth, and they run away as it goes off the air. So, yeah, it's protecting both guys, which is why. I get it. You're good up against Monday Night Football, and it's probably why you put your two biggest stars on Raw against each other. But I don't think this match was necessary. But whatever. Both were protected. It served its purpose. I'm sure that means Seth will appear on SmackDown tomorrow to get retribution.
Sure.
No, sorry, Ali. And, yeah, that was SmackDown.
Yep.
It wasn't too bad. It wasn't
It was all right.
The builds are already there. We're getting two WrestleMania matches at the Royal Rumble. We're getting Seth and Roman and Brock and Lashley.
Yep.
And a pretty loaded women's Royal Rumble, surprisingly.
Pretty much,
The Edge and Miz thing, that did happen.
It's at the bottom.
Where?
Go back up. Beth refused Maurice's.
Shit.
There it is.
Beth refused Maurice's request to cancel the match.
No, that was good.
After Phoenix offered to give a preview of the match, Edge fought up Miz, and Maurice hit Phoenix with her purse, which had a brick.
A brick.
Back of the neck.
It was awesome.
All right.
She hit her right in the neck.
God.
It was a good spot.
And Maurice said, "My husband isn't here. I have to clean up my husband's mistakes." And then here comes the Miz. That's how you play it.
And then Maurice did her old school hair thing.
Yeah,
and it didn't do that well. She kind of botched it a little bit.
No,
so that's happening too. So we got Brock Lashley, Seth Roman, Men's Royal Rumble, which
it's a loaded Rumble. It really is.
It really is. A lot of good matches.
So here's the competitors. We got 3, 6, 9, 12,
Corbin's
15. It's only half the field's full right now.
Well, I like how they have the arch there. That's pretty badass.
Yeah, so 3,
Corbin's
6,
little hat he has
9,
on his
12. Yeah, 15 people right now, and that's including Knoxville. So
he has sunglasses.
there's still 15 spots there.
Yep.
Let me get rid of this Raw.
Sunglasses make everybody look cooler.
And there's the
That's why I
women's
do all
Royal
my
Rumble.
promos with
Look, your
sunglasses.
favorite's in the
Then
middle.
we
I
got
told you
3,
she was.
6, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16,
I can't believe I'm seeing Mickey James on my fucking WWE screen again.
Yeah, there's 19 women so far.
we got 11 surprises.
So right now there's 25 unnamed entrants between the two. And you got, we already talked about this. We'll predict this next week, as well as talk 2013 Rumble. And then Brock Lashley, Seth Roman.
I'm kind of glad we get to see Seth and Roman fight live.
Yes.
That's a pretty epic match, just because it's been in the making for a while.
Becky and Doudrop.
That'd be a good match.
Edge and Beth versus Miz and Maurice. And Rumble. Yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be nice to get a sense crowd reaction too.
Sure.
Like
Not edited crowd reaction.
Like on TV. I don't know how it comes across. Like Becky, it's like she's a heel.
Well, they edited that shit too.
Like, is she?
Yep.
Like, I'm just interested because I know the week after when we talk about the Rumble, I want to go over like biggest pops. Like,
Sure.
telling people some shit that they might not know just by watching it on TV.
Mm-hmm.
But that was Raw. I did not watch NXT yet. I skimmed through it.
It was good.
Pete Dunne is done.
Yeah, he is done.
Dunn's done.
Him and Ciampa are on main event again. So those are two people I do expect to see
The Rumble.
in the Rumble and on the main roster soon. It looks like Ciampa's changed his tune as far as it comes to being on the main roster. So he might get a run.
Good.
Now, Grayson Waller beat Dexter Loomis.
He did.
Did you see that Grayson Waller tweeted about Walter?
Yeah, he said my name's too close to it.
I got really good lawyers.
Yeah. He's going to be really fucking
He
good.
is.
Like the fact that he's been here for like 2 months and they sent AJ down there to work with him.
Yeah, that's pretty
shows
cool.
they
That's
have
huge.
I saw that and I chuckled. Like, I was really aggravated when I saw they changed Walter's name because it's fucking dumb. But then he tweeted that. I'm like, yeah, at least that's funny. that works.
There's a couple of the Walter versus Roderick Strong was the match. Walter won. I think he's done in NXT. And
Sure.
I think Walter will be.
Nope, that's why they changed his name. He's going to the main roster.
I think that we might see some NXT like Ciampa, Dunne, and Walter could all be in the Rumble.
Oh, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Seriously, like I believe if Ciampa and Walter or Gunther aren't in the Rumble,
There's 15.
Yeah,
You're
they'll
going to
be
get
in
a
it.
few surprises. You'll probably get the fucking Hurricane or something because
Sure.
he works backstage.
Yeah.
which I would love, and I'll mark
Yeah.
out for it because I love the
And Corey
Hurricane.
Graves because he's cleared.
He's
I believe we
cleared
talked about
now.
last week. Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe that.
We'll talk next week. I'm going to.
Yeah, we should do some like what we think is going to be a surprise entrant.
Let's give 5 people, 3 or 5 people we think
Yeah.
will appear.
a couple.
'Cause
Yeah,
I already got a couple. Like, who would you prefer to win the Rumbles instead of who do you think? Like, who would you want? Shit like that.
I want AJ Styles.
We'll do that next week.
That's what I want.
Next week.
God damn it!
But yeah, next week will be fun. I love prediction shows, and Bennett will be here. And I love when he's like, "I'm going to win the belt." And it's like, "Bitch, you
Ain't
can't,"
gonna happen.
because
You don't
you're
even know.
no part-time champion.
Oh, you didn't know?
God, can you imagine my reign being interrupted by him taking it and never coming back? And like Cody Rhodes winning the TNT title, then
And
his
just leaves.
contract expires,
right? It's like, all right.
and they have to give it back to Guevara. For
Sorry about that.
Yeah. And now they're fighting at Bash at the beach or some shit next week. It's like it's
Beach
fucking
break.
it's
Beach
fucking
break.
February, dude. Like,
Beach break.
ain't nobody going to the fucking beach.
It's
Well,
beach break.
If you're in like Florida or California, you can go to the beach.
It's called beach break.
We're not.
It's in a ladder match.
Oh, no.
Most of America is not in the beach.
So next week, Rumble breakdown. This year's Rumble, 2013's Rumble.
Oh yeah, we are doing 2013 next year.
But before we
week.
preview next week, we have to get
Josh's
through
choice next week.
this week's. So this is the logo of the 2009 Royal Rumble.
And how could you forget the awesome song of this Rumble?
Dude,
Let It
I
Rock
love
by
that song.
Kevin
Let It
Hart.
Rock
I do
by
too.
Kevin
Because
Hart.
when I
I
arrive,
started singing. That's my favorite part. Is when it starts.
I do want to say,
Kevin Rudolph.
if I would have arrived at this Rumble live, I would have left after the first match.
Kevin
I know.
Rudolph actually did leave after that song came out because
Yeah.
he's done nothing since.
So,
But I love that song when
I do too.
when I was
That's a
in
good
college,
song.
man. That song came out. I was on my running list and shit. It's still on my running list. But I forgot that song was even a part of that. So man, that nostalgia factor.
I was instantly started singing.
I'm
that.
glad it helped you because look at her on her notes. Let it rock.
Because
It was
when
awesome. I love that song. That's so cute.
Color coded.
I love that song back in
All right,
08.
yeah, I'm on it. She's got better notes than I do.
That's a great
Don't
08
read all
song.
my notes.
Oh yeah. So before the show officially starts, it shows Vince and Stephanie. Wait, Randy Orton in a heated conversation with Vince and Stephanie. He insults Stephanie and kicks Vince in the head.
Is he reading your notes right now?
He is. Pretty what I wrote.
I'm not surprised Randy Orton likes no one because he's Randy fucking Orton. I'm telling Mom you're cussing on.
I did.
Oh, I'll tell your mom
that
too.
That wasn't a cuss.
All right,
I
which
would-
leads to this
I'm
epic
thinking right now.
failure.
That
Dude.
did not cuss.
Dude,
He cusses all the time.
terrible fucking opening match.
It was-
Could not have cared less.
Well, remember that whole ECW.
Hold on.
This is what NXT became.
I wrote not really into it. I get what they're trying to do, but it failed.
It did.
Boring match. Glad they're both in AEW next.
Like I remember when Vince canceled ECW for
Oh my
NXT, and I was
God.
okay with it. It did. No, I agree.
This was terrible.
The
Matt,
ECW shit
Matt
was rough.
faked in it. Matt was injured the whole match, and then he comes out later in the
Yeah.
night, and he's not even hurt anymore.
I did like Matt Hardy's solo music though back then.
Yeah, but that was the best part of the match. Jack Swagger's music sucked.
No, it did. Yeah, you're right. No, I mean, I'm not arguing. That match was pretty rough.
To me, I mean, the match was awful, like you guys said. To me, the match had a slow start, but every time Matt went to put a move on Swagger, he ran out. Like, get
Sure.
back in the ring.
It's
like,
heelish.
stop doing
He's-
that.
he's
ECW.
healing.
Like, you big chicken, get
That
back in the
ECW
ring.
title is hideous.
Yeah,
It's
it
ugly.
really was rough.
Look at it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't carry that fucking thing around if they give it to me for free.
But that
It
was
didn't
the
last-
match I wouldn't start off with.
ECW only lasted for a couple of years.
Yeah, they killed it,
God, it was horrible.
which is fine.
No, it wasn't
That's
anything.
it.
I didn't
Anything else
watch
on
it.
this one.
I watched
No.
it weekly when it started, and then I stopped after a while.
All right, I'm deleting the overlay of that. I don't want to see that ever again. All right, Melina
Ooh, she was smoking hot.
versus Beth Phoenix. I guess I could use my damn banners I made. Sorry, there you go. Jack Swagger defeated Matt Hardy to retain ECW Championship. All right,
Yay.
Melina,
This was a
Defeated.
good match, though.
Beth Phoenix with Santino Marella to win
Remember that
WWE
shit?
Women's
With
Championship.
Santino.
Yeah, we had a conversation with Santino. Remember
you
that?
guys
Yeah,
did.
with Benison, right?
Yep. Good times. It was very awkward. You did very
Fucking
good.
knows, so I-
You did a good job, in my opinion.
Nice seeing Santino. Forgot him and Beth were a thing.
I
Not a
did too.
huge fan of the roll-up ending. Melina wins though short match.
But think about this though. Now we saw this. This is the only women's match that happened on that night.
Mhm.
So think about this match compared to last week's, the 2001 Rumble match.
Same thing.
This one was better. This is more athletic.
Yeah, but it got like all women's match. It got like 4 minutes though. Like women's
Sure.
matches are still just like,
Yeah.
That's
now
a good
you
point.
look at today.
You're right.
They got their own fucking rumble.
But this is where it had started because this match was less sexualized and more athletic.
Oh yeah.
Not to where it's at
It was
now,
like
obviously.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It
this was 20 years ago.
it was
That's not
transitioning.
right. This was like 12 years ago.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was a transition.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
The
So then think about
issue-
we'll see the 13s, and then when we do a current one,
But it's crazy. Look at like this year's rumble. You got the women's match,
Mhm.
and you got Doudrop and Becky.
sure,
Yeah.
that's way
And then
different.
you got
Mhm.
Edge and fucking Beth versus Marie. Like you have
Sure.
3
Yeah.
women's matches out of
Sure,
6.
but you see the evolution
Yeah.
start here. Is
Yep.
what I'm trying to say. I guess.
And Melina somehow won.
Yeah, Melina was good back
with a
then.
roll-up.
She was on a roll
Her entrance is ridiculous.
when she screams.
No, when she does splits.
Well, I love when the red carpet comes out. That's my
The
kind
only,
of
more,
entrance.
the only
in
other part
wrestling.
that turned me on more was when Morrison came out during the rumble.
Oh,
I like it, dude.
So
Yeah.
when his hair blew his back, that's a big turn on.
Dude, I loved his glitter back in the day. Remember when he put glitter on his abs?
Yeah.
That was my jam.
and the
Yvonne.
sparkly sunglasses.
I know Yvonne's got a lot to say about this.
Well, and I also like that old school women's title. I mean, that's and I end up
I do
liking
like
the
the old
I
school
like the
women's title.
Divas
That's,
title.
that's
too.
my favorite
The
one.
butterfly.
This is my favorite one.
I'm looking at the TV when I don't have it on my computer screen. Yeah, it's right
So
there.
what I put, I liked Melina's entrance. I love the red carpet. That's my kind of entrance. If I was in wrestling, that would be the entrance. Red carpet being thrown out. That's kind of
Because you're a queen, right?
I tried. I tried.
A celebrity, A-list.
Yeah, Melina puts Beth in the armbar, and Beth just lifts her up. And like this, it's like nothing affected her. How strong Beth Phoenix is.
She's strong.
And then Beth was hitting Melina with her own leg. She bent Melina.
Yeah, that was pretty.
smacking. I
Yeah.
don't think your leg's supposed to go that far.
Melina's very flexible.
She was smacking her in the head.
Yeah, she does yoga.
Melina's very flexible.
I think, to me, Beth and Melina, they both dominated the match. It was a really good match. I liked both of them. Glad Melina won the match. It was a good match. Like with you guys, I forgot Beth was with Santino too.
I mean,
So,
Santino is kind of an oddball, but if you compare this to the 2001 Rumble
Mhm.
match, women's match, it is a lot different, which definitely paved the way to where we're at now.
this was next that happened. Just a video package.
All right, Yvonne got the video. I was just.
Well, go ahead. You don't have to put what it is. I just.
What's the video package?
Now we got to do it. 'cause
Well,
people are
don't
like, what
read
the hell
all.
are they talking about?
Don't read all that.
All right, so next match. Boom. You might see the oddball here where it's
Wrestling?
fucking Shawn Michaels.
God,
So
I missed that belt.
They show a video package highlighting the Shawn Michaels, JBL, and John Cena feud.
So random.
Shawn Michaels is broke.
Pretty much.
They just randomly brought up.
JBL said if Shawn helps JBL win the title, he will pay him off, and Shawn won't have to worry about needing money anymore.
And he can get
Yvonne wrote on here, sometimes in life there are things that you want to do, but you want to do to make a living and money, and you have no choice. Poor Shawn.
Poor Shawn.
Smiley, wink, or frowny face.
Sad face.
God damn it.
Frowny face.
Sad face.
So, of course, John Cena defeats JBL with Shawn Michaels to retain his World Heavyweight Championship. He's the doctor of thugonomics and the greatest wrestler of his generation.
It's like the way that played out, man. Like, it was so, like, why? Like, Shawn should have cost John Cena. That would have been the storyline to go with.
Yeah, so I forgot about this story until I seen the video package.
Yeah.
Great story.
I remember it well. It's like basically Shawn's last big run.
Backstage segment was great.
He did.
He just randomly appeared in the bathroom, which I want people to. He was in the fucking bathroom.
He was in the bathroom.
Like they were all in the bathroom by the sink. Like this is back in the day where they're like not worth $17 billion. They're like, yeah, we ain't got locker rooms, bro. We can't afford to rent that. Go to the bathroom and film a promo for me real quick.
Sometimes it's hell to get to heaven.
Yeah, and hell is the men's room. And then
oh god.
Yeah, kind of could be.
Pretty solid match. Shawn hits sweet chin music on both and leaves and puts JBL on top of Cena.
Well, you can't say it like that. You got to say how it happened. Shawn kicked JBL. We all thought that, oh, Shawn just turned on JBL.
Mm-hmm.
But then he kicks John Cena.
He got your dude.
Well, John Cena kicked at it too, like he always does.
As he always does. Especially this was so 09 John Cena.
I just put solid match.
It was fine.
It was fine, yeah.
I think storyline-wise, it would have been better if John Cena lost. And not because of my John Cena hate. I hate JBL more. It's just storyline-wise, Shawn's impact didn't do a whole lot. Him kicking JBL and John Cena, it wasn't the same if he just kicked JBL.
I did like the fact that John kept like getting fearful of Shawn throughout the match. Like he'd run over there.
He played it well.
Shawn's just like standing there doing nothing.
He played it well.
Cena sold it.
He did.
But he probably sold it more than Shawn was actually a part of it until the very end.
I know. John Cena tried his best back in these days, man.
He did. John Cena was the best seller they had.
I mean, not when it comes to like moves, but he would act well.
Yeah, facial expressions.
Yeah.
It's crazy. He's in Hollywood now.
Yeah.
All right, Yvonne, go ahead. We know how much
doing
you love
very
John
okay
Cena.
movies.
I actually forgot how good JBL. I've never been a JBL fan, but I forgot how good he was in this match. He's dominated Cena half that match. He really did.
Well, let's not forget that
matches back then.
JBL put him over initially.
He did.
Yes, we got the title from.
Yeah, he won his first world title.
Then when I went to John Cena's, I put, let's see, you gotta love John Cena's knuckle shuffle.
I did pop.
5 knuckle shuffle.
I did pop.
I put LOL smiley face because you know like how I feel about John Cena. So being smart aleck there.
I mean,
Shawn, sweet chin and music, JBL. Then he turned on and got Cena. I'm like, wait, there's one more. Bam, got Cena. That's pretty.
Cena kicked out, legit gets up, hits the A, then wins.
So like now you're thinking. Now, let's say this is like real, and Shawn goes backstage. What the fuck?
Shawn just leaves. He left.
It's like part of me's like, what happens next?
That just cost $10 million.
And Shawn just leaves like, hello, there you go.
Stay down, Cena, you piece of shit. But yeah.
Yeah, the next thing.
I'll never forget when Shawn Michaels did not shake John Cena's hands after WrestleMania 2007, WrestleMania 23. And that, as HBK is my favorite wrestler, but that bad sportsmanship I did not like. And that was real. Storyline wise, he was supposed to shake John Cena's hand. But HBK felt the match wasn't good enough, so he was pissy about it. And that made me mad. It's like, dude, shake his hand. Jesus Christ. Stop acting like you're the best thing there ever was. Which you are, but don't act like that.
Right. Show some respect.
AJ Styles will shake your hand.
That's not that Josh. That's the belt that
Edge.
you used to have. You have actually.
Edge with Chavo Guerrero because he's begging Vicky Guerrero at this point.
Vicky.
Defeated Jeff Hardy.
What you gotta do to be on top,
to
bro.
win WWE Championship.
I like that spinning belt.
Vicky changes the match to a no DQ before her husband, I put in quotation marks,
Edge
comes to the ring.
It wasn't a
ladder spot was pretty scary. Jeff barely hit Chavo. It looks like he like slipped
because
the ladder fell and he barely caught him.
Yeah.
Matt comes out after Vicky interferes and pretends to help Jeff, then hits him in the head with the chair. Edge legit pins him right after the chair shot. Reluctantly, it looked like. Cool ending. Edge is new champ.
Yep.
Here's a fun fact for you guys, everybody listening, and you two guys and ladies. Do you know why Jeff Hardy is champion right now?
So he wanted Armageddon.
Not storyline wise, in reality. Freddie Prinze Jr. Freddie Prinze Jr. was a writer on SmackDown at this time, and he wrote Jeff Hardy to win. And that caused heat between Freddie Prinze Jr. Yes, that Freddie Prinze Jr. between him and Triple H, because Triple H was like, we can't depend on Jeff Hardy to be champion. And Freddie Prinze Jr., who was a SmackDown writer, which is weird to say, but he was a writer at the time, and he pushed for Jeff Hardy to be champion. So that's why Jeff Hardy was champion at this time, because of Freddie Prinze Jr.
Fair enough.
This is in January. Come September of the same year, Jeff Hardy's house gets raided by the cops and he goes to jail. But
Yep.
but he was a good champion,
Pretty
in my
much.
opinion.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, the only thing I put about Vicky coming out, I said, excuse her. Oh, no, not her. Her husband, quotation marks. Her voice. Then the We Want Christian chants during the match was pretty funny. With We Want Christian.
He's probably gone at that point, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is where he was.
He was in TNA with Sting and AJ Styles.
Yep.
This is the same time period I watched TNA and I loved it back on Thursday nights. And it was Christian. He was, champion for a little bit. It was him, Sting, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe.
Yeah, so you had
Great time for TNA.
Styles, Awesome Kong, Xavier Woods, which was Austin Creed, Lashley, Bobby Roode, the Dudley Boys, Christy Hemme,
I remember.
Yeah.
D'Lo
I
Brown,
remember her too.
Steven Richards, Eric Young,
And Earl Hebner was a referee.
Homicide, Jacqueline, Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, James Storm, Jim Cornette, Kevin Nash,
Yeah, he was
Kurt
there.
Angle, Lashley's wife, Mick Foley, Matt Morgan,
Yeah, Matt Morgan. Yep.
Nigel McGuinness,
I don't remember
Raven,
Nigel. Raven's
Rhino.
been around him.
Samoa Joe, Big Papa Pump.
That's why I know Samoa Joe. I know AJ Styles and Joe from TNA, and they owned it.
Suicide, Tara, which is Victoria.
I think Kevin Nash was a tag team partner with Eric Young for a while.
Taz,
Mhm.
Tyson Tomko, that's fucking random. Trevor Murdoch, Velvet
Remember
Sky,
that.
who was
Mhm.
married to Bubba Ray until recently. So yeah,
Who's Lashley's wife?
her name's Crystal.
I remember that.
I didn't.
They would come out to the ring together.
Yeah,
Oh, I
so
didn't-
so
oh,
that
that's
was the
right, okay.
roster.
That's just me, okay.
Dutch Mantle, which was Zeb Coulter, was also there. Obviously Dixie Carter. Chris
Did not remember
Daniels.
that.
Yeah, he's right there.
I mean,
Dutch-
sure, I
Dutch
still remember
Mantle.
seeing it.
Wow.
Billy Gunn. They called him
Yeah, I knew Billy Gunn was there.
Kip and BG James. So Road Dogg and Billy Gunn were both.
Our
Yep.
mom used to
And
love
Kip-
it.
Yeah, I remember the Kip. Yep,
Really good.
I remember that.
Holy shit. Al Snow.
Yeah.
This Amazing Red. I've heard of him.
I don't think Al Snow was a weekly character, but yeah,
Oh, yeah, that was the roster in 09.
Yeah.
it's good. I mean, I loved TNA back then, dude. Seriously, it was fun to watch.
I remember you tried to get me to watch it back then.
It was fun.
I just can't. I told you I can't. John Cena's on Raw, bro.
Well, to be fair, we didn't know each other. We didn't meet until 2012. I told you to watch the old school TNA,
That's right there.
but that's because I stopped watching in 2010.
This is just a backstage interview.
Oh, is it backstage next?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's put the pretty picture then back up.
Look at Edge. Edge is so cool.
Well, I can read this one. I can't pronounce that.
What?
The-
Todd Grisham.
He's interviewing Randy Orton, and he's asking Orton about the rumors about the legal action being taken against him on Raw after what happened. Randy said he doesn't know about the rumors and that he's still scheduled to be in the Rumble. Chris Jericho walks up and tells Orton that he doesn't blame him for one bit for doing what he did to Vince. Jericho said he would have done the same thing. He said the Vince that you destroyed is not the man who created WWE Universe, and the real Vince is already dead. What
Is
a
that wrong?
what a statement by Jericho. That's what I put.
I like that too. I remember watching that. I thought that was a great
Yeah.
quote or a great thing to say, because this was like right around the same time period that Vince stopped being an on-screen character for a long time,
Mhm.
and they kind of
Alluded to it.
Yep.
Yep.
So then we get to the Royal Rumble. Fucking pictures. Bam. All
There he
So
is.
how do we get there? I kind of summarized it because last week was a tad bit excessive. First.
it's a tad bit excessive.
Well, I had like one, two that had a comment for everything. So
I
it's like,
got
I'm
you.
probably not going to go that in depth this time. Mysterio, Morrison, Carlito, and MVP were the first four in the ring. Out to start. Big pop for Carlito.
Yeah, it was.
Huge pop for Carlito.
He got one big pop last year too.
Then I put the
He
Great
did.
Khali's big ass is out here now, for fuck's sake. Vladimir Kozlov. Forgot he even existed. Apparently, he's still undefeated.
Do you remember his fucking? Do you remember his run on SmackDown against Triple H?
Yeah,
he had a big feud with Triple H.
Teaming up with Santino.
Yeah, that's the thing. I remember his SmackDown run. He had a big SmackDown run against Triple H, and he had no music. This is before this Rumble, because this Rumble he had music. But his first debut, he had no music. He would just walk out in his white tights, and then just be Russian.
And in this one,
be Russian.
He came out and threw out Khali by
himself.
I thought, wow.
And you notice how Triple H fought him a lot. He had one big feud, that was Triple H. And then you notice how that kind of went on with NXT. Like Triple H really, you can tell he wanted people to get over, and he wanted, you can see what Triple H wants and likes.
Transition,
Because I remember that was like his last run. I remember watching SmackDown with Triple H, and there's nobody around Triple H that was back, when we were younger. So this is his last run, clearly, and he was champion. He was fighting this guy. It's like you could just tell like Triple H was on his way out, and he was trying to get these guys over, people who he likes, and that translates into NXT years later. This is kind of neat. I remember, thinking back, watching his run with Vladimir. It was neat.
Kozlov clears the ring for the most part. I missed it. Triple H is out. Oh well, here we fucking go. All right, so we'll stop there. So I pulled up the my cheat sheet, which I have the top. So 1 through 7 are out. So it's Mysterio, Morrison, Carlito, MVP, The Great Khali, Kozlov, and Triple H.
Yep.
Kozlov eliminated 3 people.
Yep.
Mysterio ended up lasting for 49 and a half minutes.
Wow.
Solid.
He always did it.
Dude's a pimp.
The only person that lasted longer was Triple H, who lasted 49 minutes. Orton, who ends up winning, lasted 48. So 3 guys, almost 50 minutes.
I really liked it.
Ted DiBiase, 45 minutes.
Yeah,
was crazy. He really?
Yeah, there's a whole legacy thing. I really liked watching Randy come to the arena, and he like walked through all the wrestlers.
And everybody was
looking at him. Guy. He just beat up the fuck out of Vince.
Solid Stephanie.
He's here. Like, oh crap.
So where are we at?
We're at JTG. So him and Shad both come out. They
that
flip
crime
a coin.
time entrance. Oh,
it was a double-sided coin, which JT won.
It made me sad because of Shad.
Yeah, me too.
I love that entrance.
I saw Shad in the backstage segment where Orton walks through.
Same thing.
I was like, fuck.
Yep.
We used to like crime time.
Well, JTG came in and he was in it for 12 minutes.
Yeah, he was.
Surprisingly. And
Ted DiBiase.
Crime Time did get
they
decent
did.
push when they were.
Oh, they had a thing with DX.
And they teamed up with Cena a lot. And
they did.
I think they were popular.
They were popular.
I said out.
They're kind of like Private Party right now. Kind of like
Stop
the same.
It. You mean the Street Profits?
Shit, yeah, I do.
Who does that to me? I say that to my.
When I come out the Rumble, you go like, I love Private Party. And some WWE lifer's going to beat the
I
shit
probably
out of you.
will.
You're gonna
Street Profits.
You're going to piss off a fan like you did when you said Bailey should die.
Well,
except you're going to be like, don't you dare call them AEW talent.
Let's be honest. If it's a WWE fan with his hair gelled, I'll be all right. I'll hold my own.
I said Ted DiBiase comes out next. Black.
I put who? Question mark.
I said, here comes Jericho. Mike Knox. What the fuck? Young
Mike Knox. He
I
debuted.
forgot he wrestled.
You remember when he debuted Kelly in ECW?
Yeah, and Mike Knox lasted for a little bit. He was out there for 22 minutes.
When we get to 15's Josh's favorite.
Right, where are we at now? So Mike Knox.
You'll love it.
Young Miz. Holy shit.
Yeah,
then Randy Orton goes on an RKO galore.
Yeah.
God.
He RKO'd every fucking body. And then Triple H killed his momentum with a pedigree.
Sure,
yep.
Triple H did.
But look at the
Miz. And fucking Hornswoggle.
Yeah, I like Finlay. Finlay.
Young Miz. So you have Young Miz and Young Morrison in the ring at the same time.
And think about how a young Miz who looked like a douchebag with his hair gelled is now married to Maurice.
Yeah. It's like he's one of the biggest names in wrestling.
He's one of the biggest names on the B-list celebrities, but he's married to Maurice.
Has a reality show.
He does. Kind of.
He's a 2-time Grand Slam champion.
He's
going to be in the Hall of Fame.
He's done from fucking real world. He's done great for himself.
Yeah, he sure has.
Looking like a douchebag.
All right, Yvonne, what were you alluding to? Oh, 15. Sorry. Cody fucking Rhodes. Still hate him. All of Legacy is in.
He looks so little.
I put boo. I said, who cares, boo, when Cody
Cody comes out, and he never got a good push, even though he lasted.
That's Josh's favorite.
Well, he was Randy Orton's lackey, though. So it's not really a push if you're a lackey.
He got look, they fought DX. He was a tag champion. He was dashing.
He got pushed later. Yeah, I'm not saying he wasn't pushed. He was definitely pushed. But I'm just saying, as Randy Orton's lackey, he wasn't pushed. He got pushed later.
Well, they tried. Fuck him.
No, I agree. Fuck him.
I agree too.
All of Legacy.
Look at my tattoo on my neck.
That his wife don't
Okay,
like.
bro.
That his wife don't like.
Undertaker comes out. I wrote miss the Limp Bizkit entrance. I got spoiled by last fucking Royal Rumble I watched because he came out on the motorcycle. I was hoping he came out on the fucking motorcycle.
No, he came a dead
he
man.
slowly walked down.
He's dead man. That died.
So I put 45 minutes later, Undertaker's in the ring. Goldust comes out, starts beating up Cody, then gets RKO'd. Then Cody throws him out, which I have the time. It wasn't very fucking long. Goldust.
Brother versus brother.
1 minute and 11 seconds. And then the douchebags start piling up in the ring. CM Punk comes out.
Intercontinental champion too.
I put CM Punk
Intercontinental champion
before he was a douchebag. What a time!
Do you guys know that CM Punk music that he came out to, Randy Orton actually brought that music to Vince. He was like, "I want to come up to this," and Vince was like, "Nah," and then Vince gave it to CM Punk instead. So the CM Punk's original music was actually Randy Orton's music that he wanted for himself.
So CM Punk can never just use his own music, so he took Randy Orton.
Well, no, that was Vince. That was Vince.
Now he uses Cult of Personalities, which also isn't his song.
Living Color, but he wanted it for himself. But like, yeah, I thought that was really funny because Randy Orton brought that to Vince. I want this for myself, and he's like, Vince was like, no, that doesn't fit you, but it does fit CM Punk. So it's just like, come on, Vince.
Fair enough.
But in Vince's defense, Randy Orton's music right now, perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because it was the same then. Because I was thinking about this when it went off air. I was like, dude, that's aged perfectly.
He's had two songs. The
hey,
nothing you can say,
yeah.
and then this one.
Yep.
So and it's perfect.
I'm glad I still have all those WWE themes on my phone from.
I just created a playlist
for that
of wrestling
fucking.
ones.
Well, I guess 3 if you count the Evolution.
Oh, like
music.
I still have all those. Hopefully, Bennett has fucking Bluetooth or something.
I just created one. Too.
I'm sure he does.
Like because I still have like all 120 wrestling themes on my fucking phone.
No, we'll have to rock out all the way up.
I know, and you guys are like, I'm listening to Billie Eilish. Anyway,
Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
Who the
I
fuck
do-
is
I do
that?
too.
Do you mean Billie Idol?
Billie
Eilish.
Eilish. Billie Eilish is way better than Billie Eilish.
I don't know who Billie Eilish is,
Oh,
honestly.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, no.
You'll learn. I'll teach you.
All
Mark
right.
Henry and Shelton Benjamin come out,
All right.
or the next two. to
The
come out.
gold standard.
Then William Regal. Jamaican Kofi is here, I put.
Oh, hey, oh, hey,
This
SOS.
is back when he was Jamaican.
Chuck's Fair's coming out after
Then
that one.
Kane.
Yep. There's Kane.
Then R-Truth, and I put still looks the same as 01.
Seriously, though.
Like,
You're not
he
wrong.
looks the same now.
Yep.
Well,
He does.
Dude doesn't age.
He
fast
don't.
forward to next Thursday night. We'll be
Just as
saying-
entertaining.
We'll be saying, oh my God, R-Truth is in 2013 Royal Rumble. He looks the same as he did in 01. RVD came out, which he was apparently a surprise entry.
He
'cause
was.
The announcers flipped the
They
fuck
did.
out.
Yep.
And he got a huge pop. I think the
Yeah.
biggest pop of the Rumble was
It
RVD.
It
coming
was.
out.
Uh-huh.
One of a kind hit.
I feel like he left because I remember watching him in TNA. So I feel like
Yeah.
he probably left shortly after his big ECW run. So yeah, I believe that.
And then I put Mood got killed because out comes Brian Kendrick with Ezekiel
The-
Jackson.
The Brian
Then
Kendrick
Ziggler runs out. And then
goes to shake Kane's hand.
he
Kane
was
smacks
this
it.
when he was in the "Hello, my name is Dolph Ziggler" stage,
Yes.
where he's going to introduce
He
himself.
shook his
That's
hand.
why he tried to shake
Yep.
Kane's hand.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
hey, I'm Dolph Ziggler.
Ziggler tried to shake Kane's hand and got thrown out very quickly. Out comes Santino. So this is still the record for the fastest elimination. So this happened
Poor
during
guy.
this
Poor
pay-per-view.
Santino.
So Santino came out at number.
Friend of the show, by the way. We talked to him about a year ago.
Yeah, we did. Santino came out at 28 and was eliminated by Kane in 2 seconds. He legit got in and got clothesline
Right the
out.
fuck out.
Oh, poor
And then
Santino.
29 threw me off.
Oh.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan comes out with a big ass piece of wood in his hand.
So I think 29 is too late for a pop like
I do
that.
too. Because I feel like it's serious time when
Sure.
you get down to the end. There was also at one time 14 people in the ring.
That's crazy.
Like
That's a
I was
lot of
watching
people.
it last night. I was like, there's way
Too many
too
people,
many
yeah.
people in the ring
I mean,
right now.
and,
Like,
and those rings aren't that big. Like they look bigger on TV than they do in real life.
dude,
like,
14. how are you hitting your moves?
Seriously.
Like, 'cause
Right.
the person that comes out,
You're all hugging each other at that point. That's crazy. Like seriously, it makes no sense. Like how do you have 14 people in the ring and it being in, and you have all these cameras trying to find
everybody
action.
Yes.
These rings aren't that big, dude.
Mhm.
no.
Oh.
And you got all these motherfuckers.
I think Jerry Lawler even mentioned that a few times. He was like, "There's way too many people in this ring."
Well, like, so when you come out to
Exactly.
the ring, your shit is like hit your move, knock a few people down. Everybody comes out, gets into some of their shit, then you kind of move on. There wasn't enough room to do your shit.
Nope.
Like when
There
Kofi
wasn't.
hit the boom drop, I was like, how do you find the room to do that?
Because it's Kofi.
And he hit it quick too.
Yeah.
It was like boom, boom.
Yeah,
bam.
go.
And then like, boom, Kofi's out. So we get down to 29, which I agree with Chuck. Hacksaw Jim Duggan coming in that late
Oh,
was way too much. And then the Big Show,
the
who
Big Show. Yeah.
they fucking talk about like he's going to win the fucking Rumble
They
every
do.
year, but he never does.
Since the year 2000, we all know he ain't gonna win.
And Big Show comes out last.
So-
Mysterio's been in since number 1. Legacy and Triple H were the final 4.
Oh, but how cool was it though? I really liked the end when it was The Undertaker, Big Show, Triple H, and Legacy.
Mhm.
And then so we think for a brief second, it could be Triple H, Big Show, and Taker versus Legacy. Then Big Show just attacks Taker. It's like,
Oh yeah, so
what the fuck?
so Big Show gets knocked out, and then Undertaker gets knocked over. The fucking what happens is they both end up on the outside beating the shit out of each other. Orton RKO's Big Show's head off the top rope. Big Show goes down.
Yep.
Then he rips Taker down with
And they
like
beat the
a
crap
minute
out of each
afterwards,
other
and they
out.
start
Sure.
fighting into the crowd. Then Triple H is getting his ass beat,
Poor Triple H.
but then he eliminates Cody
And
and
Ted.
Ted DiBiase
Yep,
at
and
the
then
same time.
Orton eliminates Triple H.
And then as like Orton legit just
Flips him
Triple
over.
H. Triple H just flips both of them over. Then Orton comes up behind him at
Yep.
the same time and throws him over.
It was
and wins.
perfect.
I put good showing by Legacy. Then I thought, no wonder Yvonne wanted to watch this fucking Rumble because she loved Legacy and she
I
loves
did.
Orton, and
I
that's
did.
all
I
this
did.
Legacy
Rumble
sucked.
match was.
Not
And I was
gonna
just
lie.
thinking about Big Show. Like, dude,
God.
he was so short-minded. If he would just thought about it, then he eliminated The Undertaker. So if he would have thought,
Mhm.
it could have been a 3 versus 3 for a minute.
Yeah, it could have been.
But you never know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. So, and yeah,
And then this is your picture,
And as
blurry and all.
As I said, Legacy
It's 09.
wasn't my favorite group, but it was Orton's. Like besides Evolution, this was his first group that he was the leader in that I really liked.
Then why does that picture not go away?
But as I put, let's go Orton in big
Stop.
letters. So
and yes, Bakley, this was the start. Well, right before this is when it kind of started, but this led to the Triple H and McMahon's versus the Legacy. It's that Vince couldn't hang, so he threw in Batista as a replacement. But yeah,
Orton having issues with people. I don't.
dude, that was like with the outside Legacy. I hated Legacy. I didn't think it translated. It just
Yeah.
didn't, in my opinion, and it makes sense if you guys remember when Ted DiBiase Jr. debuted. He tried to get Cody. Cody was a good guy
Mhm.
doing these good guy matches, winning, losing, whatever he was doing. And Ted would always interfere and try to get Cody to team up with him because we're, the second generation superstars.
Yep.
And then eventually Cody did turn heel to go with Ted. And then they later ended up with Randy Orton with Legacy, with
Yep.
Randy being, I think, a third generation.
Third
And then with those two being 2 generations. But it just didn't translate well. So 09 was really good for Randy Orton,
it was.
but the Legacy part was boring. But
It
that
was.
Vince
Yeah.
McMahon feud was legit.
It was good. Yeah.
Didn't they have that one Samoan guy for 1 week too before firing him? Yeah, I
That-
remember that guy.
That's a deep memory, but yeah.
I remember.
I
He
do.
was going to join.
They he's like a generation of The Rock, and the guy
Yeah.
just gonna hang. But yeah, I do remember that. It's going back. But yeah,
So
man.
this Rumble did have Orton's
Yeah.
and that ongoing storyline continue. Mysterio, 58 minutes pretty much.
Mhm.
Randy Orton, 49. Ted DiBiase, 45. Cody Rhodes, 37. Undertaker, 33. CM Punk, 20. CM Punk had a really good outing. I think this is where he was finally starting to get pushed a little bit. Kane was in there for 20.
Kane always does well.
You had
He
the
does, he
you
sure
had the
does.
shortest, the fastest elimination ever during this. I guess the one big surprise was Rob Van Dam
Yep.
One of a
and
kind.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan, which I still agree was way too far.
Yeah.
I mean, 29. Seriously, we're not going to do this
29,
80
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, like you
Exactly.
want to do your. I feel like the sweet spot for your is from like 1 to 20. Like if you do anyone
Mhm.
later
Sure.
than 20,
Yep.
that's too much. I don't want to. I don't want a surprise in the final 4.
No, for sure. And that's what happened with Wrestle when we watched the 2001 last week. All of that shit was early. And then when there was 2 halves of that one, it was the hardcore surprise shit, and then there was the serious shit.
Yep.
And that's how, in my opinion, a guy like Hacksaw, even in today's, let's compare it. So let's do the I don't know who would be a surprise entrant today. Back then, Steve Blackman. So let's say we have Steve Blackman show up. He shouldn't be 20 up. He should be in the
No,
first.
yeah.
First
You got to get your
first three.
surprises out.
So like that kind of stuff. It makes no sense.
Unless somebody's going to slide in there and get knocked out in 1 second, somehow beat
Yeah.
Santino's record. Like,
Sure,
but I don't want to see any. I don't want to see.
No.
Like, I want to see Knoxville out in the top 10.
sure.
I want to see him last for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like Zayn
Me
throws
too.
him out.
Yeah,
Like, fuck
he'd
him.
be fun. He'd be a fun early on.
Like he keeps getting the upper hand on Zayn leading up to it, and Zayn throws him out, and then
Yep.
he gets some publicity for his movie.
The final four should always be an epic thing.
Yeah,
And I
the
think
final four should be 4 people that
Absolutely.
realistically should be able to
Yep.
win.
and they should all go in their pillars. You know what I mean? Like I think 2007 did it best. I don't remember the other two, but I remember it being Taker, Batista, and 2 other people. Maybe John Cena. I don't remember. But I remember they were all in their fucking corners. And it was like an epic, these are the final 4. And it was awesome. And then they charged each other. It was great. Like that's what it should be. Not some fucking bullshit coming in the last minute. You know what I mean?
Right.
So absolutely. Who was the final 4 in 07? Is that what you looked up?
Yeah.
Who was it?
Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker.
Those are the final 2.
There's 2.
Who are the other 2? I remember watching on WrestleMania.
Taker won.
And before that, the year before, I think, or a couple years before, Batista threw John Cena out.
Undertaker's first wrestle 20 Royal Rumble.
That was really cool. And was HBK. Because I remember there was one Rumble. I think it was 07. So it had to be HBK too.
All right, so the final 4 was Taker, Shawn, Edge, and Orton.
There you go. And that would make sense. And remember, they all got in their 4 corners, and it ended with HBK and Taker because Batista was the SmackDown champion and Cena was the Raw champion. That's what it was.
Do you think they were trying to put Greg Holly over? He eliminated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people, including Chris Benoit,
Nice.
The Miz, Rob Van
Wow.
Dam, CM Punk, Carlito, and fucking Chavo Guerrero. Then he
Wow.
got eliminated by The Undertaker.
And the best part about that Rumble was it ended with HBK and Taker, and they both hit their big moves. They took each other out with a clothesline or whatever. And at the same time, they're on their backs laying next to each other. And as Shawn Michaels did his jump up thing that he does, Taker did his sit up thing, and it was so awesome. Like that's the shit that I love about professional wrestling. When shit like that, when it's just that epic happens.
When he sits up like that,
Oh.
yeah.
And HBK, so they're both,
Yep.
huge people, and they both do their thing at the same time. It's like, oh. Then Taker ended up winning, but they both ended up main eventing WrestleMania. HBK went on to fight John Cena. Taker went on to fight Batista. HBK lost. Taker won. That's how that went.
Yeah, so Yvonne,
Yep.
how was it rewatching your favorite Rumble?
And Orton's first win in Rumble. His first Rumble win. So
And his second one was like odd.
It was
So,
It
random.
was,
Made no
yeah.
at least
sense.
this one made sense.
Yep.
yeah,
This one did make sense. It did.
it was good.
Which Rumble did he win? I feel like it was like 15 or 16.
I think it was 16. I feel like that's the year that Randy
he
Orton
won
won.
this one. I think it was 6.
Triple H won 16.
Oh, did he?
Okay, 7.
Oh, because the Triple H should have been
Orton
Reigns.
won 17.
17.
Okay,
Okay,
got it.
Yeah, that
It
was.
came down to Goldberg, Roman Reigns, and Enzo Amore.
That's a rough Rumble.
What's
I'm glad Randy Orton won that Rumble.
Shit.
Enzo, we're.
It's a rough year for
But
WWE.
this one had so
Wow.
the 2017 Royal Rumble, just for like Jesus Christ. Jack Gallagher was in it.
Oh God.
Kalisto,
Stupid umbrella.
Mojo Rawley, Ty Dillinger, James Ellsworth, Ambrose was still in the company. Rusev was
Hey
still
man,
there.
James Ellsworth has like 3 wins over AJ Styles.
Yeah, Apollo Crews, Luke Harper,
Yeah.
R.I.P., Brock, Goldberg, Taker, Reigns, Orton, Sheamus, Miz,
Strowman.
Kofi, Corbin, Strowman, Big Show, Zayn,
Big Cass.
Kalisto.
Big Cass.
Big ass.
Jericho lasted for 60 minutes and 13 seconds in this
I remember 2017 being one of my least
Oh,
favorite years in
one.
wrestling.
Enzo came out at 27 and Brock knocked him out in 18
Yep.
seconds.
Good.
Brock was standing up, and they're like, "Go out
Yeah,
there."
Orton entered at 23 and won in 20 minutes. He eliminated Roman to win.
He did. Enzo. And
Fair enough.
And this was the first ever Women's Royal Rumble that year as well, which was won by Asuka.
Yep, he did. Enzo.
And I exited out of StreamYard. So well,
It
there's
happens.
that. But yeah,
Enzo
so
being one of them.
next week,
Josh is pissed.
I fucked up and picked a Rumble that The Rock's in. I
He's
forgot.
not in that Rumble.
my
Well,
Lord.
he's right fucking there.
He fights
So,
CM
I mean,
Punk.
granted, the man's still front and
You're
center.
just-
like
you're
John
just-
Cena's right fucking
Right, well, because
there.
John Cena's
You know what's
in
funny?
the Royal Rumble.
Look who's standing right to the left of John Cena. It's fucking R-Truth.
It's all-
So
Look
What's
who's
up?
on the other side. Randy Orton's on the other side.
So it's The Rock versus CM Punk for
Yes.
the WWE title.
You're just mad because
So
The Rock's on your side.
this
of the
match
screen.
card,
Nice. That's a good. One.
Cesaro
I like that.
and
I
The
do
Miz
too.
for the United States Championship. Team Hell No against the Rhodes
I
Scholars.
forgot about Team
Look, you
Hell.
got Cody
I feel like
again.
this match is going to be very entertaining.
Oh, we do have
You're gonna
Cody.
put down Cody.
Alberto Del Rio versus the Big
Rapist.
Show. And I'm sure this match is going to suck.
Yeah.
You have CM
it
Punk
will.
Josh is gonna have bad
with
comments
Paul
for this.
Heyman during The Rock.
And this is your pick.
Yeah, this is your pick.
Well, this is an epic.
I
Royal
gotta
Rumble.
say, guys, I think my pick's the best pick of this
Well,
Royal
you're
Rumbles.
not
I feel
biased
like
whatsoever.
01 was the best one.
All I know is the greatest superstar in the history of professional wrestling wins this Rumble.
And
Oh.
the actual greatest wins the WWE title. To lead on to
Shawn
the
Michaels doesn't win this.
neither does AJ Styles. He's not here yet.
I like the poster though. So you got Kane,
That's a pretty sweet poster.
R-Truth, Cena, Orton, Sin Cara, and Daniel Bryan. Like, holy fucking shit!
Sin Cara.
You remember when they switched Sin Cara's
Sin-
people?
Yeah. Like,
He got hurt too many times. So they
You're
replaced
just
him.
bitter
I'm gonna
because The
sneak
Rock's.
peek and look. All right, so I'm
You're
not
so
gonna give
bitter.
away any like fucking like surprise entrance if I can tell.
I remember watching it live, but I remember
So
like
thi-
the surprises.
This one, Nexus
Is
is a part of this.
That sounds right.
Yeah. So fuck you guys. Mine's better. I got all of
I don't know if
Nexus
that's
in the
true.
Rumble.
I mean,
They're in the Rumble. Otunga, Slater,
this is after Nexus, though.
Darren Young,
No, I disagree.
Wade Barrett.
I think they're wrestlers, but they're not Nexus. This is after
Oh
Nexus.
God! Look at 27.
This is after
Gross.
Nexus.
Jinder Mahal's in this.
Oh, the gross. Underneath Orton's.
Ryback, Khali,
Gross.
Damian Sandow, the God. Well,
This is like
fucking Godfather.
This is right before the Shield.
Dude, 10 size in here.
Albert.
Drew McIntyre when he was the fucking chosen one. Cody Rhodes. God damn it. Cody Rhodes.
How did you know?
Yeah, this is right before the
Brodus
Shield.
Clay. I don't know.
Somebody
Why are
calling
all
him?
of them still in it?
So this is
Sin
the
Cara.
Rumble. I feel like the Shield
You mean
debuts
the Nexus?
like
When
2
did-
weeks or 3 weeks later. No, this is post Nexus. This is even after because this is CM Punk's last. Because
All
CM
right,
Punk
so
was
the
champion.
Nexus debuted on June. Wait, it didn't even last a year?
No,
Are you fucking kidding me?
nope. It didn't last as long as you think it did.
June 7th, 2010, and it ended December 27th, 2010.
Yeah, it was
and
short-lived.
debuted as the new Nexus.
And then that still wasn't that long. Because this is CM Punk's last day as champion. He had
I
like a
think
year long
the
champion.
Nexus fucking.
I forgot he was the leader of Nexus. I forgot seeing it.
I think
Second
the-
second run.
I think
run,
the
that's
new
right. I
Nexus
forgot
could
about that.
go down as one of WWE's biggest blown opportunities ever.
Dude, I feel like what do they call themselves? The Muhammad Ali's, not Muhammad. What's his name? Ali's group during the Thunderdome era is the biggest disappointment.
So Josh, you get to talk about
Gabriel and Slater left the group to become a tag team. Barrett and Ezekiel Jackson with Husky Harris, Michael McGillicuddy, and David Otunga assembled the group called the Core.
they did.
I kind of remember the core.
Mason Ryan, Punk recruited Mason Ryan to join the new Nexus.
I remember Mason Ryan.
The new Nexus were also part of the 40-man Battle Royal. Along with the Core, they feuded with the Core briefly. The Core costed Randy Orton his rematch with The Miz for the
Jerks.
WWE title, causing a feud between Punk
That was like
and
2011.
Orton. Yeah, that was May 1st, 2011. At Extreme Rules, Orton defeated Punk in a last man standing match. August 1st of 2011, the group disbanded.
Yeah, but this is 13 because this is the last day
And
that CM Punk
you
was
know, it's
champion.
crazy. None of the Nexus members are still with the company,
Yeah, sounds right.
except if you count David Otunga's like every 6 months appearance on the pre-show.
Yeah. Like that's the thing. Like Nexus could have been such a big deal, but then it wasn't.
We can't wait to hear your Rock comments next
Oh,
week. They're not
fuck.
going to be good.
God, dude, I was mad at the Rock one. Like,
I know, I forgot about that.
Stop spoiling it.
oh, we all
CM
know.
Punk could have won.
We all know.
Can't wait to hear negativity next
And then-
week.
We all remember.
The
Josh
one
will
thing
have
you
to-
can always depend on, me retaining, but there's the
Oh.
Cole Royal Rumble 2022 poster.
Of course, the fucking douchebag part-time Rocks in the front.
Exactly.
Front lead here.
To be fair,
Roman
Brock's
should
been
be
on
in the
like
middle.
every show for the last like 2 months.
Oh,
Yeah.
full-time
Virginia
Rock.
has been on the show for every day in the last 3 years. Everybody else.
Roman Reigns needs
That's not true. Becky had a kid.
Well, good point.
Roman Reigns should be in
Roman
the
left
suit.
because he had COVID, and then to To be fair, he did have to get away from.
But he's been around for 500 days or whatever the fuck
he's
it
had
is.
Cancer on top of that. Roman needs to be in
Don't
the
hate
center.
on Brock.
He's just
He needs to be.
Speaking of Brock,
Oh,
so
God.
Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley will be a match we pick.
Yep.
I just love the way this one looks for some fucking reason.
Roman
Roman Reigns versus Seth fucking freaking Rollins.
They got good chemistry, man.
They really
This
do.
match is going to be the best match of the whole night.
Yes,
I would agree.
I do too.
Becky Lynch versus Doudrop. They're building Doudrop up. I really, really like what they've been doing with her lately.
I hate Becky's new look.
I dig it. But I could not stand Becky when she first came on. Yvonne used to. I used to cuss at the TV.
Oh, back in the day,
Yeah, like-
She had an Irish
with
accent.
her bullshit accent.
Yeah, like and
Yeah.
she looked like they were holding up a card like "Say this."
I hated it.
So like
Her-
she's much better now.
Oh,
Much
Becky
better.
Balboa.
Yeah, much better.
That Becky Balboa shit.
Yeah.
It was terrible. I hated her. I agree. I didn't like her until she turned heel originally.
This will be a good
The
match,
Grit
too.
versus the It couple, Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Miz and Maurice.
I'm not a huge fan of intergender matches, so this was more just like a filler.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see Edge again.
Yeah.
So
Then
That's
you
good.
got Women's Royal Rumble.
Well,
Kelly
Josh-
Kelly, Mickey James, Lita, Queen Zelina, Carmella, Shayna Baszler, the Bella Twins, Michelle McCool, Summer Rae, Aaliyah, Shotzi Blackheart, Natalia, owns 4 Guinness records now, Rhea Ripley, Dana Brooke, Naomi, Nikki ASH, Tamina, and fucking some reason Charlotte.
Your favorites in the middle.
seriously
Josh.
though, storyline wise, is there a reason that Charlotte's in it?
I
Yes,
know.
she wants to pick her own opponent for Royal Rumble. So whoever throws her out is going to be her opponent for the Royal Rumble.
Pretty
I
much.
feel.
Because when Roman Reigns was a champion in the Royal Rumble back in 2016, it made sense because Triple H demanded it.
Yeah, because they were trying to.
So
Mhm.
yeah, sure. So, but like storyline wise, it made sense because it wasn't Roman Reigns' choice. Triple H was the bad guy.
I also feel
Reigns
like
was the good guy,
they
the
pivot
authority.
because I feel like it was going to be Charlotte versus Tony Storm, and then Tony Storm's like, "Fuck it, I want to leave."
Yeah,
And then
she
they're like,
did.
"What do we do with Charlotte?" And she's like, "Oh, let's put her in here and have her lose to somebody."
I feel like Charlotte's like, I'm tired of not being in the Royal Rumble because I'm always the champion.
Yeah.
So I want to be in the
I
Royal
I want
Rumble.
to be in one.
It's her opponent. We're gonna laugh if she ends up.
And
winning
you
this
got the
somehow.
Miz. Or sorry, fuck. The men's Royal Rumble, not the Miz.
I mean, he might be there.
Kofi, Sami Zayn, the Mysterios, Street Profits, Corbin, Madcap Moss, Austin Theory's hiding behind the Buzz logo,
Well, I know
Come
Damian
out.
Priest won't win because champions don't win.
Johnny Knoxville, Damian Priest, Biggie, KO, AJ Styles, and Sheamus. So far, we have one. So we have 3 more shows before. So we got SmackDown,
Yep.
Raw, and SmackDown.
Yep. I think it's gonna be Brock Lesnar. I really do.
Win the Rumble?
Yeah.
I just don't know how they get there.
It's
I don't
easy.
Either.
Roman Reigns wins. Brock Lesnar goes up. Roman Reigns screws Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar
we don't.
enters the Rumble. Brock
Is that gonna be
Lesnar
your
wins the
pick?
Rumble. I think it will be. As of right now,
So you're
yeah.
thinking Lashley?
To win, yeah, because of Roman Reigns.
Okay.
I probably won't.
Because storyline wise, it makes no sense for Brock Lesnar to be champion there anyway.
You guys are making it too easy for me to keep my fucking belt.
I don't think so.
Because Saudi, we don't defend it. That's Chamber.
Well,
And
because
then
Saudi's a
I
joke.
just go to fucking WrestleMania again.
I mean, it makes one of them has to lose. I agree with that, unless they're officially done with the Brock and Reigns storyline.
Right.
If they're done, which would be stupid, but if they're done, then fine. But
All right, let's see. SmackDown tomorrow. What is announced?
I have no idea.
Me either.
Nothing.
Not a single thing.
Sounds right.
So WWE,
That holds up.
Let's see, WWE.com. If you're going to figure out, just check out that loaded men's. Both Rumbles look pretty fucking
They
good.
do.
though this
I
year.
love the Rumble.
The women's Rumble for once actually looks
I agree.
it's just as
I like
compelling
both.
as the men's.
I enjoy both Rumble matches.
I think this is the first Rumble that looks like the first women's Rumble that looks like, this
Yes,
could be, it's,
I agree.
Lita's making it a point. Like they're making it a bigger deal than they had in the
Yes.
past. So
Oh, okay. So Naomi battles Charlotte
How
Flair.
could you forget that?
They're teasing another appearance by Lita. And Seth Rollins is scheduled to be there.
Oh, boy.
yeah, that makes sense too. He'll be there
So,
until he
after
loses to Reigns.
got beat up
By
by
the Usos.
the Usos last week. Yeah, I also added, which I feel will be added Monday after Raw, Alpha Academy with RK Bro for the tag team
That'll
titles
be
as well. And you
added.
might get Usos Viking Raiders, depending on how many. They
Sure.
had to do a kickoff show match, so maybe
They'll-
the Usos would be that one.
They'll do 2 for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see them putting Orton and Riddle on a. I don't think they're ever going to go up to Orton like you're going to be on the pre-show. He's
Heck
like, yeah,
no.
I'm fucking Randy Orton, bitch. Like, are you kidding me?
Exactly.
No, I'd
The
agree.
Usos have been on the pre-show many times, so
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't give a fuck.
No, I agree. I mean, I feel like both Riddle and Orton will be in the Rumble too.
I do too. I feel like them two, Edge and The Miz, will both be in. So there's
they'll be
4
in.
more,
Yep.
which leaves us with really 11. Because I don't feel like they'd leave Edge out of it.
Heck.
I mean, just think that feud's over after this
It's
intergender
over.
match,
It's
right?
over.
So Edge can start his new feud when AJ Styles throws him out of the Rumble,
Yep.
and then he gets mad, and that starts the AJ Styles Edge feud. Like a lot of feuds come from within the Rumble match.
And I really want
Like you
Edge
threw
and
me
Styles.
out, and then you see him fight on Raw, and then you see it, or you threw me out, bitch, and then Edge needs a competitor. Edge needs an opponent. Styles needs an opponent.
Sure.
This might be the perfect time to build that.
And I think you mentioned before that Edge said he wants to fight Styles.
Yeah, it's on his list.
He does. Yep.
So no better time than now.
Nope, it'd be perfect.
And Styles isn't doing anything. He's
not.
his shit with what's his name, Omos.
Yeah.
He did his shit with Waller.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what's he doing
put some
now?
young talent over. Now he can get back into his.
That'll be a
Let's do
great feud.
Styles. Dude, I would love Edge versus
And
Styles.
The Miz, it don't take him long to find a new opponent.
Nah,
You know,
he's
The
easy.
Miz.
And also next week we'll talk about. We'll obviously break down the 2013 Royal Rumble with Bennett. I told him 3 weeks ago that he has to watch it.
You got 1 more week, Bennett.
And so you have 6 more days, because if you're watching it the day of, you're fucked up. 'Cause you're supposed to be pouring cement.
Yeah.
But
Fuck.
and then we're gonna pick all the Rumble matches, and then we'll talk about who we think will show up. The surprise entrance. We'll each give 3 to 5. I don't know. We'll fucking figure that number out within our group.
Just
chat at
whatever
some
we
point.
think. Yeah, it doesn't
And then
make
we'll talk about
specific.
who we think should win each Rumble, as well as every other match, and
Who we think will win.
might even talk a little bit of what do we think the top of the WrestleMania card might look like after we leave St. Louis.
To be fair, St. Louis starts the road to WrestleMania 2022.
We will know who will be one. We will know a woman and a man that'll be in the main event at Mania after.
Is this the third
Rumble.
year in a row that's been a 2-night event?
Yep.
That's
It's
crazy.
one of the only good things that come from COVID involved as far as wrestling goes. We're gonna have 2 nights forever. So night
Time's
one's
flying.
probably going to be women's, which is cool because the women get their one of their world titles night
Good for
1.
them. Yep.
And then, so you get the Royal Rumble winner, the women's night 1, which granted it's their main event.
Yep.
And then you have the men's winner who should get night 2.
Yep.
And you could also have, which we'll talk about this more next week. You also could have the thing this year where Brock and Roman both hold on to fucking both belts. Biggie, like Roman fights Brock, but like Biggie wins the Rumble and fights Brock on night 1, and then Brock still has to go fight Roman on night 2. You know what I mean? Like they could always do that. They haven't done
could.
that yet.
Could.
They haven't.
Could.
Because after Mania, Brock's will probably be gone till fucking July-ish for SummerSlam.
That's his
Because
schedule.
he normally goes on hiatus and summer vacation. But,
Summer,
Which is fine.
you mean spring, summer, and fall vacation?
Which he
Yeah,
needs
so-
to go. I'm sorry.
Like, there's always that
Yeah,
possibility to have like back-to-back nights, like one night,
Sure.
Seth fight. Like you
That'd be
can always
good.
do it.
Yeah, well, I'd be all for it. I love surprises, so I'm all for that shit.
But yeah, so next week will be fun. Predictions, 2013 Rumble,
Rumble
and
week.
Bennett.
And Bennett.
Bennett
Yep.
will be here.
I dig it.
The guy who's in charge of keeping all of us safe in
Sure
St. Louis,
is.
or getting us to St. Louis.
Yep.
Once we get there, I can take care of my
I mean, he has the
I'm
tickets.
still carry around my title belt. I'm gonna keep a tally of how many people ask me. We should keep a tally on how many people ask us. Like 1, what the fuck is RSH?
Yeah.
What the fuck does that title even mean? And 3, what the fuck is on your head? Because I'll be wearing my Patriots hat still.
That's rough. They lost.
I'm aware.
You didn't lose the Bengals until Saturday. But
Yeah. Fuck, shut up.
all right, guys. Hope you all enjoyed this episode of RSH. We are only 1 more episode away from I'm excited. My favorite show of the year. I think your guys' favorite show of the year.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
And so it's the best time to be a wrestling fan. And yeah, so be here next week while we do our Rumble predictions, while we do our show breakdowns, and while we kind of figure out when I predict myself who's going to win the Royal Rumble, because I know who it is. I talked to him. He called me yesterday. So it's going to be awesome. But continue to follow us on all your favorite social medias, but go to Twitter. That's where we're most active. Even though Twitter has been weird to me lately. It doesn't matter. It's weird.
Act like you don't fucking do shit to Twitter.
I try, but like I try to fucking retweet our shit, and then it just automatically puts me in the RSH group, and it always says it's been retweeted. I'm like, no, I don't know. I'm just stupid. I can't do technology. I'm an old man. See my bald head. So continue to watch us, follow us, tweet us, and
Make sure to go to our freshly scheduled show for next week, which I just scheduled.
it's already been scheduled, dude.
Yep.
This is a pre-scheduled hostility
January 27th, 6:35 p.m. Eastern time,
Standard
even though
Time.
we start at like 25 or 30.
Whenever we're ready.
I got it fucking scheduled though. So
And at the end of the day, continue to fear regularly scheduled hostilities.